Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, there's that universal feeling of guilt, right?
Yeah.
That nagging gap between the person you intended to be when you set a goal and, well, the person you actually were when it all just slipped away.
Procrastination, lack of discipline, just being too busy, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. We all wrestle with it. You commit with this, huge conviction. You're full of inspiration. And then a few weeks later,
Oof, all that energy is just
Good breath.
gone. And you're left holding an empty bag.
and that feeling of always rushing, that sense of time scarcity that just hangs over so many of us.
It's often just the cumulative result of all those broken promises to yourself you're carrying around is mental friction.
So our mission today is to cut right through that noise. We've pulled together a really powerhouse stack of sources. We're merging ancient wisdom from the Stoics
Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, the heavy hitters.
with these hyper-practical, systems-based strategies from modern performance minds, people like Coach Dan John, the legendary Bill Walsh, Seth Godin.
We want to synthesize a practical philosophy for consistency. We're looking for that foundational mechanism for success.
And it's summarized so perfectly by Coach Dan John.
It is keep your commitment to your commitment.
Right. And the core insight there is that the first commitment, the intention, that's actually the easy part.
That's the fun part. The real work, the true determinant of success, it all lies in honoring the second commitment.
So we're diving into how to honor that second step and start living life, as the Stoics would say, properly.
Which means fully, immediately, and consistently. And we have to start with the biggest delusion that stops that second commitment before it even begins.
Which is,
The belief that we just don't have enough time.
it's the default setting of modern life, isn't it? I wish I could do X, but life's too short. I'm just too busy.
And Seneca, writing thousands of years ago, he looked at this exact complaint and, he basically laughed at us.
His conclusion is brutal.
It is, because it shifts the blame completely away from fate.
Yeah.
He argued it's not that we have too short a time to live, but that we squander a great deal of it. Life, he says, is actually plenty long if we spend it well.
That is such a harsh reality check. He's not saying we're busy. He's saying we're bad managers of our time.
We're poor managers of the resources we already have. Absolutely. He accuses us of actively pouring life down the drain of luxury and neglect.
And that doesn't just mean like fancy cars and clothes.
Not at all. It's about chasing the wrong things or refusing to sit down and ask ourselves that terrifying question. What is actually important to me?
Okay, but I think a lot of people listening would push back there. They'd say, wait, my life is genuinely full. I have kids, work, real obligations that steal my time.
Of course. And the Stoic answer, which is reinforced by all the modern sources, is that while the demands are real, the friction comes from letting things outside of us dictate our internal state.
So it's about the mental clutter.
It's the mental clutter. The sources cite Petrarch, who criticized these overconfident academics who fritter away their powers incessantly in caring for things outside of them.
So it's less about the hours you work and more about the hours you spend chasing validation or worrying about what other people think.
Exactly. And when you actually quantify that waste, even in modern terms, the numbers are just jarring.
Like the traffic statistic.
The average American spends roughly 40 hours a year in traffic.
40 hours, an entire work week. Gone.
And over a lifetime, that's months. Months you've given away to stagnation. But the point isn't really the traffic, right?
No, it's a stand-in.
It's a stand-in for endless scrolling, pointless arguments, hours spent just fighting with your own indecision.
That's the real kicker. We don't just receive a short life, we actively make it short by filling our time with all this noise.
It forces you to rethink that whole phrase, I don't have time.
It's a choice.
It is the ultimate choice. And once you accept that you do have the time, then you run headfirst into the problem of follow-through.
Which brings us right back to that central thesis. Keep your commitment to your commitment. So let's break that down.
Okay, so the sources are really clear on this. The first commitment is the declaration. It's that moment of inspiration.
January 1st. The moment you decide to train for a marathon.
The spark of vision. That's fun. That releases dopamine. It feels good.
That's when you buy the new running shoes, the fancy planner. You're all in.
You're all in. But the second commitment, that's brutal because it requires honoring that promise when the emotional high is completely gone.
And the new shoes feel heavy.
And the new shoes feel heavy. It's showing up on that Tuesday morning when you're tired, when you have to honor a promise you made to a version of yourself who now feels like a stranger.
So if it's that uncomfortable, why not just make the first commitment smaller? Make it easier.
Because the discomfort is actually the measure of the commitment. If you only commit to what's easy, you never grow. The second commitment, it isn't just about the task.
It's about character.
It's about character maintenance. It's building that internal system that says, my word is law, even to myself.
And that uncomfortable execution, that's what all the legendary performance minds focus on.
Look at Bill Walsh. He always said, winners behave like winners long before they are winning.
I love that.
The practice, the daily, unglamorous showing up,
Yeah.
that's the second commitment. That's what validates the first one.
So if you're consistently behaving like a winner in the process,
Then the victory is just an external confirmation of something that's already true inside.
so the first commitment is aspiration, the second is the execution system. And if you fail at execution, you default to the classic coping mechanism,
Ah, yes. The tyranny of tomorrow.
the universal lie.
We are masterful at convincing ourselves that I'll do it tomorrow is a legitimate strategy.
Not just a delay.
Not just a delay dressed up as a plan. And we all do it. We wait for that magical moment when we'll feel perfectly energized and motivated.
And Marcus Aurelius just nailed the self-deception, didn't he? He wrote, you could be good today, but instead you choose tomorrow.
We choose tomorrow because later feels safer. It feels easier. It preserves the possibility of success without demanding the pain of effort.
Right, if I start today and I fail, the dream's over. But if I start tomorrow,
The dream is still perfect.
it's psychological preservation. But it's meaningless without action.
There's that great Arab proverb, wishing does not make a poor man rich. Resolutions, intentions, vision boards, they're just wishes until you act.
And the real trap with tomorrow is that we forget something crucial.
We do. We fail to recognize that tomorrow, when it finally gets here, is going to feel exactly like today.
The same resistance, the same excuses, they'll sound just as reasonable tomorrow as they do right now.
And Seneca said, this is the primary delusion all fools share.
Yeah.
They're always about to start, always about to get serious.
But they never do.
They never actually do. They're waiting for some external force, a new year, a clean desk, to make the internal choice easier. But it never arrives.
It's like hoping your taxes will just do themselves while you sleep. We're waiting for external relief from an internal choice.
Exactly. And the Stoics say you have to stop waiting because chaos is coming anyway.
Which brings us to Marcus Aurelius and the wrestler's wisdom.
And this is a man who knew chaos. I mean, he was the emperor of Rome. He faced a pandemic, wars, floods, personal loss.
He buried his own children. He dealt with betrayal from his closest generals.
So his strategy wasn't to fight the chaos. It was to prepare for it. He said you have to face life like a wrestler, waiting, poised, and dug in for sudden assaults.
Dug in. That image is so powerful. You build your defenses before the attack comes.
And that's what we need to do. We face our own assaults, sickness, disagreements, inflation, and unexpected bill. The question isn't if they'll come.
It's how dug in are we? How tough is our inner citadel?
Yes, and that inner citadel, in practical terms, it demands systems. It demands structure.
And this is where Seth Godin's ideas come in.
Precisely. Godin says strategy is woven from 4 threads: time, games, empathy, and systems. And for consistency, the crucial insight is that systems last so much longer than fleeting intentions.
So the inner citadel of Aurelius is built with Godin's systems. Your daily choices aren't just prep for your life.
They are the system you're building. Every single time you honor that second commitment, you're strengthening the citadel wall.
But that's where we hit that friction point Jim Quick talks about.
Common sense is not common practice.
Exactly. We all know what we should do. Eat well, move more, focus. It's common sense.
But we've actively built systems in our lives that are engineered around convenience and avoiding discomfort.
It's easier to order takeout. It's easier to scroll than to sit in silence.
Our systems prioritize ease, which makes the common sense actions, well, they become uncommon.
We've given power to our worst desires.
And Pascal said that justice and power must be brought together. Our good intentions, our justice, have no power because we haven't built a system to support them.
And when you fail to build that system, the consequences aren't just philosophical, they get physical.
Oh, they get very physical. There's a sharp analogy in the sources we looked at.
The one about the dishes.
Yeah, all the garbage you have to scrape off the dishes, your body has to scrape that stuff off you.
Wow. That brings it home with such physical immediacy.
Right. We wouldn't let garbage pile up in our kitchen for weeks, but we do it to our bodies and minds constantly. We break commitments, we rationalize, and we expect no consequence.
And your body keeps score. It doesn't listen to excuses about being too tired.
It just registers the cost. and it tells you exactly where your system failed.
So how do we break that cycle? How do we get out of rationalizing and into action?
It requires radical self-honesty. We have to confront the plank in our own eye.
Seneca again.
So blunt. You look at the pimples of others when you yourselves are covered with a mass of sores.
We're experts at cataloging everyone else's failures to avoid looking at our own lack of discipline.
And we are masters of hiding our own mistakes. Bernard Shaw had those great analogies. Architects hide mistakes under ivy, housewives under mayonnaise.
And doctors under bushes. We hide our broken commitments under this claim of being busy or overwhelmed.
But the mistake is still there. It's rotting under the ivy, and the only way to fix it is through present, focused action.
Like the elite athlete. I love that baseball analogy from Steve Springer.
Slow feet, fast hands, quiet head.
It's an entire system of presence in just 6 words.
It's the practical application of the second commitment. Slow feet, you're planted, no waffling. Fast hands, you execute immediately.
And quiet head, you've silenced that internal debate, all the excuses. The action is just taken right now.
And this level of urgency is exactly what Epictetus demanded. He asked, why wait to demand the best?
He connected it to the highest possible states.
The contest is now. You are at the Olympic Games. You cannot wait any longer.
And that your progress is wrecked or preserved by a single day and a single event. That reframes every single Tuesday morning, doesn't it?
It makes every moment a choice in an Olympic contest. You can't defer. This is the grown-up choice, taking full responsibility.
And to really drive that home, there's that thought exercise from Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful one.
He encouraged himself to imagine he was already dead.
Imagine your life just ended today. You reflect on everything you left undone, the person you never became because you kept choosing tomorrow.
It's the absolute pit of regret. But then you imagine you're given a second chance.
You get to wake up tomorrow.
And the imperative is simply, you must live it properly. This exercise, it just underscores that we are all living on borrowed time. Every morning is that second chance.
And that urgency, that gift, that's what gives power to our justice, like Pascal said.
Our good intentions need the force of a committed system to succeed. We have to keep asking, how do I build structures that make keeping my commitments easier than breaking them?
Because when you do start honoring that second commitment, the results are already in motion.
Yes, the sources say, give thanks for unknown blessings that are already on the way.
That is such a beautiful shift in perspective. Consistent action is like planting a seed. The harvest, the blessing, it's in motion the instant you take the action.
Even before you see the results, you are already stronger, already better, even if you don't feel it. You set the blessing in motion.
You step out of the cycle of wishing and into the cycle of creation.
You forget past failures, you forget future worries, and you just focus on the immediate action right in front of you.
As Marcus Aurelius said, just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter.
That commitment to the commitment, right now, today,
Yeah.
that's the only thing separating aspiration from reality.
So here is the thought we want to leave you with. If the contest is always today and you want to return leading the pack, you have to stop wishing and start acting now. The true cost of choosing tomorrow isn't just that you missed one day.
It's that tomorrow will always arrive, asking the exact same question you avoided today.
So what single commitment can you honor right now, regardless of how you feel? Start there.
Because the only way to ensure the committed person you promise to become isn't a stranger is to honor the promise you made to them today.